Hello class. Now in this video we will see how exactly master cylinder works. So basically on the basis of classification, master cylinder are having two types. One is a tandem master cylinder and another is the only master cylinder. So tandem master cylinder is nothing but the cylinder which operates front and rear both wheel at the same time, or the road wheels at front and rear at a same in the same systems or in the same assembly. Those kind of master cylinder use called as a tandem master cylinder, which is normally used in case of the four wheelers, but in case of the two wheelers we not at all using any kind of tandem thing. We are only using independent master cylinder for front as well as rear. Not necessary rear is always hydraulic type braking system. Mostly the vehicle, or we can say the non-premium vehicles or non-premium motorcycles are used to have a drum brake at the rear and the disc brake at the front. But when we are moving for the premium vehicle or motorcycle or the sports utility motorcycle, in that case at the rear and the front both end we supposed to found you're supposed to find that disc brake is there or the hydraulic braking system is there. Okay, in that cases the thing is that both system front and rear having their independent master cylinder. Now we will see the how actually the construction of master cylinder. So the master cylinder is mainly consist of many parts. Okay, let's start from the top. This is your master cylinder. This is this master cylinder body, which consists of the reservoir and the main compression chamber. Okay, so the reservoir is nothing but the nothing but the in which we supposed to store our fluid, which is used as the braking fluid. So normally in case of the motorcycle we are using the dot 3 fluid, that is one of the standard of braking fluid. Dot stand for the Department of Transportation, which is graded that fluid as a dot 3. There are number of fluid present such like a dot 4, dot 4, 5.1, dot 5, okay, dot 3. But in case of the motorcycle, Indian motorcycle, we supposed to use dot 3. The grade of the those fluid are depend on the kind of rubber or type of rubber we are supposed to use in the braking system. So there are number of seals are there in any hydraulic braking system or any hydraulic system. Seals plays a major role. Okay, so compound or the rubber compound used to have rubber sealing. Okay, or to manufacture a seal, uh, that it should be actually it should be having a friendly environment or friendly nature with the working fluid. Otherwise sometimes what happen if fluid is not that black fluid is not friendly, or the chemical compound of fluid and the chemical compound of that rubber is not friendly, which is then they start to have a bad effect on each other, like rubber seal get shrink or rubber seal get swell. Okay, so that kind of phenomena come into the picture. Okay, so this thing, by keeping this thing in mind, we supposed to use a standard grade or the what suggested grade by the manufacturer only. Okay, so normally in case of the Indian motorcycle we supposed to use the dot 3 brake fluid oil. Okay, it is mentioned by the Department of Transportation for the Indian motorcycle. Okay, some kind of foreign motorcycle or the foreign brand like Tandem, Benelli, they may have a different grade of fuel grade. Okay, it's depend on the kind of rubber seal they are using. So basically if you go in more detail in that in case of the um brake fluid, then there is a glycol based and alcohol glycol based and another is a silicon based. Okay, so glycol based and the silicon based is further classification come under the brake fluid grade. So our scope is not brake fluid, so come to we are focusing our scope, that is master cylinder. Now just here we are having the reservoir. The reservoir having the reservoir cap in order to avoid the entrance of the foreign particle or the water inside the reservoir, because water and oil having different viscosity, so and those are not mixable also. So to avoid the mixing of oil with the water, we should have the uh, reservoir cap. Reservoir cap having vent. Okay, this is a air vent. This air vent plays very important role, because to maintain the atmosphere pressure inside the reservoir is also important. So the air vent here should be have a optimum size in order to maintain the atmospheric pressure. Otherwise, if this air vent get blocked due to dirt or due to some other foreign particle, your braking system won't work efficiently. Okay, so this should be a optimum in size. Okay, should prevent the blockage. In that way it should be designed. After that, come to the down portion of your reservoir, that master cylinder body. This is a compression chamber. Okay, so inside the compression chamber there is a spring is located. Okay, the one end of the spring is rest on this check valve. Okay, this is a check wall. Inside the check wall there is a seal, cup shape seal is there. Okay, so this is a rubber cup shape seal is located inside this check wall. Okay, check wall having one holes over here. Okay, means this check wall, uncheck wall, there is a hole is present, and on that hole this cup shape seal is here. So one end of the spring is forcing this check wall against this seat. This is a seat. Okay, and another end is connected to this primary seal. So this primary seal, so this spring is forcing check wall in this direction and the primary seal in opposite direction. Behind the primary seal there is a piston is located. This piston is having a small holes over here. Okay, at the periphery, in that cross section we can only observe two holes, but along the 360, okay, number of holes are present on this piston. Okay, after that, go behind. Here is on a secondary seal is there. The secondary seal ensure that the oil present in this area should not spill out through this way. Okay, so if you ask me at or on which region or in which region oil is there, so this complete region is filled with the oil. Okay, at certain level on the reservoir maximum and minimum level is mentioned. So till maximum level you can fill the oil and remaining portion is air. Okay, after that this thing is filled with the oil, this thing is filled with the oil, this is entirely filled with the oil. Okay, and this thing is entirely filled with the oil, and oil is present in the further brake line also. So no air should be here. In this portion air is not allowed, in this portion air is not allowed, here also air is not allowed. I mean to say air is only allowed in the reservoir up above the maximum level. Okay, here no any entry or any kind of gases, not only air, any kind of gases will affect the braking efficiency. So here is completely this volume is filled with the oil only. After that, come here there is a stopping washer is there. This stop washer ensure that this piston won't come out. Okay, this is a stopping washer. If as this spring is applying force in this direction, this piston pushing in this direction. So to make that or to stop that piston at the location, the washing stopper washer is there. Behind that stopper washer circlip is there. Okay, after that the boot is here. Okay, so this boot ensure that no any dirt particle should enter into the line, because this cylinder piston is supposed to reciprocate inside the piston. Sorry, this piston is supposed to reciprocate inside the cylinder. This is a cylinder, entire thing is the cylinder, and this region of cylinder is called as a compression chamber. Okay, in front of the piston. After that, the push rod is there, which is connected to your lever. Driver supposed to apply force over here, so that's why this push rod going inward. Okay, so this is a boot in order to prevent the entrance of the foreign or the dirt particle inside this cylinder. After that, there is a two holes are present, which responsible to connect reservoir with the cylinder, having a different size, such as a bypass port and the intake port. So this is the bigger one is nothing but the intake port, and the smaller one is nothing but the bypass port. So in this way two holes are present over here. So this is your construction of master cylinder. Thank you.